G'day, how you going? Ianapolis here, acrylic guru from Australia. Welcome to my video. It's where I like to teach beginners how to paint in acrylic. I'll just get some sizes on the canvas there before we get started in inches, because some people, they like to know what size it is, all right? And I'll get some colours going up the screen as well. All right, you might notice I'm wearing something a bit different, a bit old, a bit of memorabilia I got on here. This is the clothes I wore in my first, second, oh no, not my first one, because my first video on my channel wasn't even going to be a YouTube video before I'd done YouTubing. It's just something I filmed. But my second video, third and so on, this is the clothes I wore, and I thought, why not bring out a bit of a nostalgia and wear it just in one of my videos, just because I want to wear it and I want to see how they look and how they've changed over the years and how I can just fit into them as well. But anyway, this one's going to be like very minimal colours but with high impact. All right, and it's something a beginner can do. And if you're really scratching your head and thinking, I can't do it, just practice procedures, and I'll tell you something, you bloody can do it. All right, so come on over here. I'll get some paint on the palette and we'll get started, and I'll teach you how you can paint this the way I will paint it. All right, come on. Now we've got some craft paint, student paint, like poster paint, soft body white, titanium white paint. I just want a little bit of retarder in this, because I'm just going to slightly merge some grey brown colours into this white. So I'm going to get my putter on a brush and I'll start mixing the amount of retarder I want into that paint. And some of you are probably already asking, what's retarder? What's that clear stuff you just put in that paint? That is an additive that slows down the drying time of your acrylic paints. Not bad, eh? But then again, a lot of you already know that as well, but I've got to not be too complacent and think that everyone's seen all my videos, because there are people out there watching for the first time. Now I've got a bit of a hootin' scootin' horizon line about this high here, and I want the rest to be a marvellous, simple, not much of a sky, but a sky with a lot of impact. So I want to get this paint and just first off get it pushed right into the footprint of that area. Just pull it around. Don't worry about painting it on, just push it on with your big brush. And I'll go to that horizon line there, just like so, somewhere around there, okay? And just keep pushing this paint on. And now that paint, as you can see, it's all lumpy, bumpy brush strokes everywhere. Fine, doesn't matter. I'm going to go to the tip of this brush, and now I'm going to iron out all those creases in the paint there. All right, just like that. Now we are ready to put a beautiful, simple sky on there with a lot of impact. Okay, I've got some red gold, pretty much a nice deep orange. I've got some burnt umber, and I've got some grey out of the tube. If you don't have any grey in a tube, just mix some up with some black and white till you get like a light tone, mid-tone grey. Now I want to I've never done this colour in that. I sort of think I have, but I want to get this footprint on first, and then I'll start incorporating that into it. So watch how I do it and try and copy this way if you're interested. All right, so from the horizon line I want to come up with this about here and fan it up to about that height there, deep orange. I'll get a bit more on there. I want it nice and deep. There we go. I want it about that much. Now I'm just massaging it into that retarded white paint, and I'm going to gradiate the join of the paints like that. Careful not to swipe that white back into it. You don't want it. There we go. So I'm coming up to there like that. And we've got a nice gradient of the two colours at the moment. There we go. And I can probably get bits of it filtering up there, because I want some of this to mix with the grey. Now I'm going to the tip of this brush. See how there's no paint on it? It's all push it to the end. That's the magic of this brush, the way I use it. And I can push that red gold / orange just like that with the tip of the brush. And if I wanted to, I can add more on there, like, oh, you can't see that. See, just by pushing the brush down, you can add more on. But before I do, I forgot about the brown. I'll grab some of this brown here, the burnt umber. I'll just wipe the brush. Let's hope that's not going to be too dark. Yeah, that'll work, that'll work, that'll work. I'm just testing it on the side of my canvas there. And I want this in the very horizon part of that orange. So knowing where my horizon line is, I want to get that there just like that. and then slightly and subtly merge that into that orange, red, gold colour. There we go, simple. Don't muck with it too much. Less is best. Done. Done. Now I've washed my putter on a brush, and I'm going to grab the grey on both sides of it, just like this. And then we'll start filtering this through the sky colour areas. So I want mainly here. Pull it through, look at that, beautiful. Get some of it going through there. Pick up more. We've got the whole canvas in yet. And over this side. Pull it through, pull it through. Right, I've pretty much got it on where I want it, there, bit here. Now I'm going to go to the tip of the brush and iron that into those colours. Just so as there's no hard lines, it's just artistically blended. It looks great. Everything's got that yumminess going on in there. Beautiful, just like that. And what I'm thinking while I'm stroking this, I'm just thinking I might add a bit of subtleness of clouds in there. Just something. Get there. There we go. Let's put, I've just grabbed a little bit of brown, not too much. It's on the tip of my brush there. I want to try a little bit, I'm rubbing it off on the top there, and I want to filter some of that up there. Oh yeah, look at that. I just thought of that, that's looking good. Using the tip of the brush now to stroke it in there. And look how much of the painting I got done just with this simple brush. It don't muck around. I am looking at that. I want a bit of this orange, maybe a little bit more up. So I've washed that brush, and I'll try and get some of this scooting up there as well, just from there and transpiring up to there. I hope that word makes sense. There we go. Now I'm going to go to the tip of the brush and iron that in as well. Look at that, we just got some sweeping movement of that colour. It's just made it look a little bit better, don't you reckon? I do anyway. There we go. Now we'll just add some subtle white clouds in there. So grabbing some titanium white out of the tube, not that craft paint, the good stuff out of the tube. I like to stamp it on with a fan brush, and I've got one of my blending brushes here ready to blend it, and the kitchen cloth to wipe the build-up off the blending brush as I'm blending. And I just want those sweeping kind of clouds, just where I will probably come from the middle there, and I just want this sort of stuff. Now that paint's still a little bit wet. I'm getting a bit of, hopefully I've got time there, just like that. This is the sort of cloud I want in this painting. And I'll just sweep that that way, beautiful. And I'll just dance that into the sky, left and right. I don't want to have a hard line here. I'm trying to deliberately distort that as I go with me blending. This is just subtle. It's not going to be a very loud, bright cloud. It's just something there breaking up the colours. And that looks quite magical there as it is. Right, that brush didn't get too contaminated that I put that on there with. I might put something here as well. Same kind of notion, just sweepy stuff like that. And distorting it. I haven't got a bottom or a top on these ones. I'm just kind of, look at that. I love the way these lines come and they create depth in between the two. I love accidentally doing that. And we're kind of doing the same with this cloud here. That's looking okay. Finish it off with some drags like that. And I might put just a little bit more up the tippity top over here, just this kind of whispery stuff. Now it's up to you. If you didn't even want to add these clouds, you don't really have to. But I'm pretty sure they make a lot of lovely magic towards your painting as you put them in there. See there, just like that, just like that. Practice blending if you haven't blended much before. Practice blending. There we go, that's it, that's it. I don't want nothing down here. And I think I might put some distant activity right about here somewhere. Now I want to grab some of this good titanium white just on a little detail brush. And I'm just going to put some dots there. But these little additives, they just add that element of bullshit to a simple painting. Whether it's little people on the beach, or footprints in the snow, or little lights like this. Down here it's like dusk time and there's just lights, just doing very, very small like lights. Don't want them to, there we go, little dots. Just like that. And if you get what I mean, I'm going to do even a duller one, so I'm just wiping some of that paint off if I can. I don't know, I'll just try a little duller one here. Yeah, there's a duller one there. Duller one, I don't know if that's a word, duller. Not as bright, but that'll do, simple. Now, once I do the trees here, it's just going to look like activity down there in a little town or something. Now, I want to put some foreground trees on here, but before I do that in the darker colour, I just want to get a mid-tone colour and put something around about here to create a bit more distance in our painting. So I'm grabbing the burnt umber. That's going to be mixed with some black for the front foreground, but I want this, let's say, a little bit lighter. So I don't know if that's going to help. Let's grab this colour here. I'm not using that orange anymore, so I can keep mixing into that until I get the value I'm after. There we go. And probably a little bit of white. How's that? Oh yes, nice. Not too bright. Not too bright. So I can add more brown if I want, which I will. And get this the value you want. And we just want to put a pocket in between the foreground and that background. So my trees are going to go here. I'll probably get this here somewhere from about, I don't know, maybe from about there to about here. That'll do. That's all you need, just a bit there. And we'll get these, get air in between them, some height, some lowness, and come along just like that. And it's just going to add more distance, I hope, within this painting. And I'll come down here and wear it off, because there are going to be some bigger trees that's on the right hand side, but I don't want to just stop it there. I want to continue it through like you're painting off the painting there. There we go. And now I'll just solid all that up, leaving the air at the tops of them, just like that. It's quite easy. You can do this, see? It's not that hard at all. And see why I didn't put the white retarded paint down this area. See how I'm painting on here now? Even if I dried that top paint and try to paint over it like this on the same day, it can lift it up and create nightmares for the beginner out there, and they'll think, oh bugger this, I don't want to paint now because I don't like it. But if you know what to do, you won't have those kind of happenings happening to you. Now, if you don't know where to go next, when I'm laying on the next colour, I've just put a line here I've worked so I know where I'm going to go. So I'm going to come down there, I'm going to come down to expose this in the distance, and then I'll start coming up and it'll pan out on this colour here, because I'm going to have some bigger stuff here. All right, so just grabbing the burnt umber again, and this whole colour has to be mixed darker, so I'm going to grab a bit of black, okay? And this is going to allow for some depth right at the front of this painting, pushing all those brighter colours back. So we'll get all that there. I want to get the top sorted out first, which is coming along here, okay? So I'll cover that pencil line in and start making the tops of me trees the way I want. Real simple canopy types, bit of air into them, but keeping to that pencil line, okay? And this is going to be darker than that paint right there to stick out in front of it and push that one back in the painting more. Well, that's the objective anyway. Bit of air in the tops of these. Don't go overboard. And along here, just dabbing it with this flat filbert brush. Nice little like mushroom tops, umbrella shapes type of things, and stamping it along, and then coming over here. Just so having that pencil line there has helped. It's gave me confidence. It's giving you that ability to know you can do it because you got that line there, that assistance line helping you. Now the next thing I'm doing before I finish blocking it in, I'm just getting this down beyond that top edge that I just painted on and getting it down. Now it's up to you if you want to iron out all these brush strokes or artistically leave them there. It's up to you, because art's art. And I'm going to just see here, just coming from that down, and then I can grab a bigger brush and just ink it up a bit with a bit of water, and then get all that bottom painted in like so. It's raw canvas there. I see this bit here I couldn't press too much because it's got that other rubbery paint under it, but here I can press like buggery and it's not going to lift it, where if I press there it'll start showing white. So the trick is, in your mind, that group of trees, it's a little bit darker than what I would have liked it. It needs to be a lot lighter than what I just put on now, so you'll distinguish the distance and the difference of the two. Now I've watered that paint down a bit, and I can just go ballistic and block all this in down to the bottom there. Okay, now you can see why at the beginning my horizon line was there. You don't want it way up in the middle, because all this is going to look like you're in a helicopter looking down at this view here, where you're really on top of a hill, a lover's point, something like that, where you're looking down. Let's say if it's California or somewhere, you're looking way down there and there's a bit going on. So that's why the horizon line was that high. It's important to know what you're going to paint and where you put your horizon line, all right? I might have to give this a few coats. Now I gave in that another coat and dried it. With that paint, I've added just a little bit more black, and I've got it all ready with the same brush. And I want to add some trees up here. So what I'm going to do is add the trees and then add the trunks later, okay? So we'll probably get one kind of tree here, sort of. See, these are a bit darker in value. I want to leave a little bit between that and here, okay? A little bit of gap. But these are just, hang on, let's get some paint on your brush. These are just willy-nilly any old way, sort of high and low, a little bit. I'm just sort of sprinkling some of this darker bit there as well, you might notice, just to be artistic, you know. We'll get some just sort of filtering off here, off the painting, coming in, bringing our eye in. Now they're kind of looking a bit too patterny, so I want to distort that a little bit. Can come down there a bit lighter there, some scraggly bits in between. Maybe a higher bush here. And I want, where are we? I want a main big one. Let's put something real big here, big and dark and forceful, coming around. There we go. And try and see all these bits, try and get artistically moving them, shaping them so they don't just look like a lot of little stampy brush strokes. They've got some artistic value to them. It's coming over there. And why I added a little bit of extra dark in this is because, see, this is going to hover down just past here. I'm filtering it through there, and you'll see that in real life. Whether the camera picks it up or not, I'm not 100% sure. See that white? That's picking up that bit of retarded paint underneath. Very simple trees. I've got that one there. I want to get something maybe really lacing up with some height. Maybe out there. Something here. You can see the shapes that I'm kind of giving them. Okay, something flopping out there. Alright. There we go. Now I want something coming off here. Kind of lacing over that bit there. Getting really high up here. See, and it's pretty easy. Just take your time, try and get these brush strokes so they look like they got meaning and value and understanding to the painting, so when someone's looking at it, they know exactly what sort of tree they're looking at or what they're looking at, you know. And we'll probably get something over here, a real big one. some of that just scraggly joining down to that bottom one, some little scraggly bits there. Now you can fine tune them until the cows come home. We'll start putting some trunks in them and some other dead sticks coming up, and then accordingly, if we need to add any more of that foliage, we can do so. And I prefer to use, let's try this longer, I've got a short and a longer script liner, and I'll try this one first because we want to try and get nice stuff like that happening. So first I'll get a lot of nice skinny trunks coming up in here like so, lots of busy stuff like that. Is the camera picking up that bit there? Probably just. And then we're joining onto here as well. Lots. They're just, if anything, they're mainly straight. This one here can have a main one in the guts of him there, and we can sort of venture off that. Okay, just something like that, nice and thin, and lots of little stuff in there. Get right up in there. Now while we're over this corner here, I'll just finish getting some more in there. I want to get some beyond it, like, where are we? Oh, I think I should have just some dead stuff. Look at this. Boom, to a nice point. Get a little bit more there. Skinny. Look at that. Get something coming off here. Looks like that's a bit too fat there. Maybe some dead ones coming from behind here as well. Now see these foliage in front, that's what I mean by later on. If that looks like all this stuff is too much in front, we can dance some more foliage back in front of it. We want a lot of cross them over. Look at that when you cross branches over. They just look more real. They don't look like a pressed flower. This is just detail that just adds a bit of, I like that. I like it. Some bend ones. Now here we go. We've got all this tree here, so we want to bring him up there. Bring him up there. Add all this stuff in between up there. See what we're doing. Lots more. Lots there. Maybe you'll see them. Some of this up there. Big, something thick in the middle of that. Coming out, supporting all that there. Just bits coming up here. And here. There's probably be a few coming off here. I'm so far away from the canvas. Unfortunately, my camera distorts me from getting as close as I would like to. So if you see some of me brush strokes looking a bit donkey wonky, that's why. Something up there. Just grabbing this, I'm looking where stuff might need to be sat down in front and behind each other, whatever. Okay, just bits. Don't destroy what you've just done. See here, I just want to kind of, you can probably add a little bit more dark, just a little bit of black if you want to kind of try and set it down a bit more. But that's pretty much it. We've got light poking right through there in the distance. I might, because I added more dark in this, I might just hover across here, darkening this top area here, filtering it down I don't know what we'll call this. It's some kind of dusk, evening dusk. Okay, that was pretty easy. We'll just put a signature on here. Where's me corner? I want a nice tiny one. And then I can whack a frame on it. See how she looks. I'm pretty sure she'll look nice in a frame. And be sure to share, like and subscribe. And remember, all my tutorial paintings are for sale. Message me on Facebook. All payments are done through PayPal. And all the links are below for PayPal, Facebook message, my art group, whatever's there. Check out what's in my cupboard. There's a lot there to look at. Get that a bit darker there. Come on. Right, let's whack a frame on that. Okay. Yeah, there you go. That don't look too shabby, does it? We got a bit of distance town down there. We're up on a hill looking down at the dusk, the dawn. Yeah, the dusk. Simple but effective sky with some distance and just some simple foreground here. And just remember, you can do that. All right, I hope you stuck around to the end. Give yourself a bit of time to watch the tutorial a couple of times if you want to paint one of these. That way you know just exactly what challenges you're going to face, whether they're big or small. And check out the links in the description below. Share, like and subscribe. Give me the thumbs up. And be sure to tell your friends if you like what you're seeing on my YouTube channel here. But if you don't like it, you tell everybody, all right? Goodbye, good luck, and good on ya.